Danny, what's good, brother? What's good, my brother? And if y'all don't follow my dog, I don't know what you're waiting for. If you don't follow him, I don't know what you're waiting for. All right, so title of today's discussion, okay? The moment you remember God within, the journey of remembering that God is within you, okay? So we're going to talk about this in a little bit of different way, all right? Because we've talked about, yeah, you are God. I am God. I am that I am, no matter what. Cool, all right? And I've also talked about the difference between understanding this purely out of vocabulary and actually living this, breathing this, knowing this, all right, allowing this to be ingrained in your being. So we're going to talk about the stages of this. Does this remembrance mean that you will never face a difficulty again? Does it mean that reality will instantly shift? It will. But does it mean that you are going to perceive it instantly? Maybe. Maybe not. Okay? The goal of this is for us to actually begin to see through the illusion, to see reality how it really is, which is us. Okay? And if reality is me, to see reality how it really is, I must see reality as perfect because I am perfect. Reality is just an extension of me. So we're going to talk about this journey through the remembrance of God. I'm going to talk about this in a different way. Okay? So we're going to progress. We're going to talk about the awakening. We're going to talk about being confronted with shit that doesn't look right. Can you keep your cool? Can you keep your composure when reality wants to slap you a couple times? Can you still see it as perfect? Can you still see through the eyes of devotion? Okay. And then we're going to bring it all together because you know I love a full circle moment. All right. So let's get into it. Number one, matter of fact, I had two love letters. I was going to read them both at the end. I'm going to start off by reading one and then I'll read the second one at the end because this first one's going to really wrap up what we talk about. Let me alter the document. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Beloved, remember this. The moment you truly know that God is within you, everything begins to change. You stop searching for signs and start becoming one. The world around you starts to move in rhythm with your awareness, showing you that alignment was never about effort, only remembrance. Every blessing, every shift, every moment of clarity is the universe confirming what you finally dared to believe. That you and the source are one. But even in this knowing, be gentle with yourself. The old thoughts will still try to whisper their lies. Doubt, fear, and limitation will try to make you forget what you already are. When they do, do not fight them. Simply pull them out like weeds that no longer belong in your garden. Each time you choose remembrance over reaction, truth over fear, the light within you grows stronger. Treat yourself as divine in every breath. Speak to yourself as you would speak to God, with reverence, patience, and love. Let your choices reflect your holiness and your boundaries honor your worth. The day will come when you no longer have to remind yourself who you are, because you will be living it so fully that even silence will testify, I am that I am, and that is enough. I am that I am, and that is enough. All right? So we're going to talk about this journey to get today together. All right? First part of the journey, all right? The awakening of awareness. There comes a moment when the seeker stops seeking, not because the journey has ended, but because they finally realize the destination was with them all along, was within them all along. At what moment will you stop trying to search and become the version of yourself that is in the life of your dreams? And when will you decide to actually live the life of your dreams? When will you make the decision? Well, you might say, when I get the money, Alex, duh. I was once there. I was there too. But the money doesn't come until you decide that you are prosperity. Well, when I get the car doesn't come until you decide that you are prosperity. When the SP, when that woman comes back, when that man comes back, guess what? They don't come back until you realize that you are the love that you're seeking. So what is keeping you from right now walking into the life of your dreams? Being the version of yourself that no longer looks out there waiting for things to change like a beggar. one that's forgotten their God and actually walks through life remembering who they are, allowing their divinity to be the proof, looking at everything through the eyes of God with the lens of perfection. What's stopping you from doing that? Well, when you cut away all the bullshit excuses, because we all have them, right? If we all sat here and we listed out excuses, the money, the woman, the man, the car, the this, the that. Oh yeah, we could all write a book right now. Everybody could. No one's excuses are better than the others. But what is the difference between people who come into this reality creation space and it clicks and they live the life of their dreams and the ones that don't? What is the difference? The difference is a choice. The difference is a choice. The ones who don't get the life of their dreams, they're still waiting on things out there to change, to confirm to them who they are. And the people who live the life of their dreams, what's the difference? They stop looking for proof and they realize they are the proof. They simply make a choice that they are who they say they are, that they are the divinity, they are the love they seek, they are the prosperity that they've been waiting for. It's it. This is a choice. That's all it is. It's a choice. Okay? And the choice has always been yours. No one can take this choice away from you. All right? So here we go. The divine presence you long for is not hidden in the sky or the temple, right? That goes back to us trying to make God this Santa Claus figure in the sky. We can consider the sky the North Pole, handing out blessings if you beg enough. But God is within you, closer to you than you are to yourself, closer to you than you are to your own breath. Knows your desires more thoroughly than you know them. Knows what you want, knows what you need before you ask, because it's the one giving you the desire. Okay? The divine presence you long for is not hidden in the sky or the temple, but in the silence behind your thoughts, in the awareness that witnesses it all. All right? So Luke 17:21, we always talk about this. Luke 17:21, the kingdom of God is within you. Huh? This realization, okay, that God is within you is experiential. Okay, it's not intellectual. It's beyond logic. It's beyond the intellectual mind. The intellectual mind wants to fight. The intellectual mind always wants to fight against that. I need to see proof first. Show me. Right? I had one comment that said, brother, if this is real, you should document every single thing that you've manifested with proof and exactly how you did it. And if you can't prove it, then you're a scammer. The logical mind always wants to seek proof. I want to hear the next Reddit story. I want to see the next YouTube success story. I want to see how you did it. If somebody in the comments says, I manifested this or I manifested that, how did you do it, brother? What was the affirmation that you used? The logical mind is always seeking. But this knowing goes beyond logic. It goes beyond logic. It's a choice. It's a knowing. And in that knowing, right, you are proven by reality that you are who you say you are. Reality proves it to you. The moment that you stop, that you decide, you know what, I am no longer going to try to become this new version of myself. I'm no longer going to fight my emotions. I'm no longer going to fight my thoughts. I'm no longer going to go to sleep every night listening to the next sleep tape. I'm no longer going to continue to search for the next book. I'm going to simply decide that right now, who I am is perfect, and who I am is exactly in alignment with everything that I want. It goes beyond the intellect. The intellectual mind says, no, hell no, that's not true. There has to be something to do, but that's how the world programs us from kids. Your parents say you have to do this to be a good kid. The school says you have to do this to be a good student. The job says you have to do this. The relationship coaches online, they say if you want a good man, you want a good woman, you have to do this. Hell, the church says if you want to go to heaven and not burn for the rest of eternity, you have to do this. We are constantly programmed. We have to do, chase, strive. But even scripture tells you, right? Cease striving, be still and know that I am God, which is a very literal statement. The moment that you catch yourself trying to conjure up, create some fake emotion so you can go into some fake vibration to get what you want, that is the moment where you have to, okay, be still, stop trying, cease striving, and just know that I am God. Because the more that I'm trying to conjure up some emotion or feeling, or I'm trying to affirm that I am this, It's the more I'm affirming that I'm not it. If I was worthy, if I was God, I would stop trying to be God and I would just know. You've been God longer than you've had a name. You've been God since before this heart started beating. You just are God. It doesn't matter if you feel like it or not. You just are. You just are. And because God flows to you, not to you. Let me not water this shit down. Because you are God. I want you to really get this picture, okay? This is what happens to reality when you are God, okay? Right now, within you is the wholeness of God, okay? Because God can't be divided. Right now within you is the wholeness of God, okay? And that light within you, it beams, okay? And within you right now, you're taking a singular perspective of your life. You have these perspectives or assumptions about the opposite gender, how they show up. You have assumptions about how money shows up. You have assumptions about how things work out in your life. You have assumptions about how people treat you. When you walk into a room, how people look at you. You have all of these assumptions. Boom, 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 boom. Okay? But the wholeness of God is within you. This unconditional love that says whatever you decide to be, you can be. Whatever you decide to be, I unconditionally love you and will support you in that. And so you walk into a room with this light. And the room is dark before you walk in. Every single room. Avatars might be there. People might be there, but they're just vessels. When you walk into the room, all right, all of your assumptions, that God within you does what? It animates this entire room. You might as well walk in and give everybody a script and say, this is what you're going to do. Okay. Bank tell us how the money going to show up. Okay. Go to my bank account. This is what you're going to look like today. Everybody in here, I want y'all to all stop. This is how y'all going to treat me. This is what you're going to view of me. Every time you walk in the room, this is what happens. This is who you are. This is how powerful you are. It's that nothing exists without you. Nothing. Let's go a little bit further. If you were to, I'm going to get to that at the end. We're going to go back to that at the end. All right. So here we go. The realization of this, that you are God. All right. It's beyond the logic or intellect, and it changes everything. The moment you truly know God is within you, life begins to move in harmony with that knowing. You no longer chase signs because your very being becomes one. Life begins to confirm your belief through what? Synchronicities, peace, and alignment. This is divine remembrance. When we cease striving, okay? When we understand that peace within me, right, is a gift. That peace within me is my natural state of being. All right? So number 2, let's graduate a little bit. Let's get to the next part. Okay, so you awaken into awareness. Number 2, now you become the sign. So you wake up to this fact. Number 1 was you wake up, your awareness is woken up. All right, I've realized that I am God. Perfect. All paths lead you here. Whether you started off just trying to get a specific person, or whether you started off trying to get a little bit of money, or whether you started off trying to get a better relationship with your parents, whatever the case may be, okay? This road has led you down, this knowing that, oh shit, source is within me. God is within me. I am God. Beautiful. Now what's the next part? The next part is now you become the sign. Because you can come into that realization, but you're still looking for things out there to confirm. You say, okay, I'm God. And now that I'm God, let me see what can change out there for your boy, right? Show me that I'm the prosperity. I know that I guess I'm God. Sometimes I feel like I'm God, but I need you to show me that I'm God. Show me the money. Prove it to your boy. Prove it to me, okay? So you still got another bridge to cross. What's the next bridge to cross? It is becoming the sign, right? When you stop asking for proof of God and start embodying God's nature. I know somebody's thumbs is itching right there. Blasphemy. Okay. When you stop asking for proof of God and start embodying God's nature, your reality rearranges itself around your conviction. You stop waiting for miracles and begin walking as one. You begin walking as one. All right. So here's a Rumi quote. Very short, sweet, to the point, very eloquent, right? What you seek is seeking you. What does that mean? What you seek is seeking you. What you seek is seeking you. This means that every divine desire, hear this, hear your boy when I say this. This means that every divine desire within you is a honing signal, a call from the infinite reminding you of your origin. And I'm going to break this down in a second, all right? When you align your thoughts and being with this truth, creation bends to match your inner state. You are not separate from the source. You are the visible expression of it. You're the visible expression of source. We are the breath of God in motion. Ooh, we are the breath of God in motion, right? We are the word of God wrapped in flesh. You are the universe with a name. Do you hear me? You are the universe with a name. So let's get into this. Okay, let's get into this, all right? The longing that burns in your chest is not a sign of distance, but recognition. It is God remembering himself through you, whispering through desire, come home. Every ache, every dream, every hunger, every longing for more is not a void to be filled, right? A lot of the issues that we have with desire comes from what? The illusion of separation. God out there, me here. God distant, me here. Okay? If I believe that God is distant, then that longing that I have, I believe that's something I have to ask some deity in the sky to grant me. I'm separate from the desire. It's just something within me. Or I might even think worse. I have to, quote unquote, kill my flesh. I can't have the desire. The desire is unholy. Okay? When I understand that there is no separation, that God is me, that the very breath that I breathe is God, the thought I think is God, it's all God. Okay? Now I understand that my desire is what? It's a call home. It's God wanting to express or experience itself in this different way through me. It's a reminder that I already am this. It's a calling home. It's not something to feel separate from. It's something to embrace as destiny, as a covenant, as a promise. Okay? Are you following? I know you are. I know you are. All right. So every ache, every dream, every hunger for more is not a void to be filled, but a signal that the infinite is drawing itself into form through your awareness. You think you are chasing love, purpose, or peace, yet it is these very things that are chasing you, trying to catch you still enough to be found. Do you hear that? Do you hear that? Let me say that one more time. You think you are chasing love, purpose, peace, prosperity. This is what we think, that we have this desire and that we're chasing those things. Yet it is these very things that are chasing you. It's the God within you longing to express itself through those desires, trying to catch you still enough to be found. Let's break that down. How could the desire be trying to catch you still enough to be found? It's a desire. Don't you have to chase it? Don't you have to go get it? Which is why even scripture says, be still and know, right? You have this desire, and this is God wanting to express itself, wanting to experience you through this desire, wanting to experience itself through this desire, okay? Now, the only thing that can keep you from that desire is what? Your assumption that you're not it. How would I assume that I'm not it? If I'm trying to be it, that's an affirmation I'm not it. My natural state is it. I couldn't even have the desire if I wasn't in perfect alignment with it. I couldn't have the desire if I wasn't in perfect alignment with it. So just my very natural state of being right now. I want you to think about this, okay? Let me put this in a different way. You couldn't even be in alignment with it. You couldn't imagine it if you weren't in alignment with it. You couldn't desire it if you weren't in perfect alignment with it. When do you typically get most of your desires? Well, sometimes it's you see something that you don't like and it makes you feel bad. And all of a sudden you get this desire for what you do like. But then you think, for me to be in alignment with the desire, I have to feel good. Think about that. You could not imagine it if you were not, you couldn't desire it if you weren't in perfect alignment with it. Okay? So the moment that you have the desire, you're already in perfect alignment. Now, if I go through something I don't like and all of a sudden I get clarity on what I do like, so you mean even when I felt bad, I was in perfect alignment? Yes. But we spend all this time trying to fake this emotion, trying to pull up this emotion just to try to be somebody that we already are. And by me trying to be somebody that I already am, I'm simply affirming I'm not that person. Was that a riddle, or do y'all get what I'm saying? I trust that you do. Okay? I trust that you understand what the hell I'm saying. All right. You think you are chasing love, purpose, or peace, yet it is these very things that are chasing you, trying to catch you still enough to be found. What you seek was never lost. It is the mirror waiting for you to look deeply enough to see who stands behind the reflection. The universe is not indifferent to your longing. It is responsive, alive, and intimate. The moment you turn inward with faith instead of fear, the current of destiny begins to move. You are not pursuing the divine. You are not pursuing God. You are being pursued by it. This is why you got to be still, because everything that you want is seeking you. So hopefully this gives a different way to look at that, because I used to hear that what you're seeking is seeking you. And I'd be like, okay, that sounds cool. Where the fuck is it? If it's seeking me so hard, it shit must not be that fast, right? But this should give a whole different meaning to what you are seeking is seeking you. This is God trying to experience itself through you. This is you trying to experience yourself through yourself. All you got to do to get it is simply be still and know. Why get it, Alex? But my SP, that's why you don't have them. Because you think it's separate. Instead of you just simply accepting that right now the love that you seek is the love that you are. If you knew that God promised you something, how would you act right now? If you knew, okay? Let me just put it like this. Let me ask the question like this, okay? The thing that you desire the most right now. Because I'm assuming if you're here, you either want to remember, you're just here because you like my voice or something, or you're here because you want something. I want you to hear this, okay? How would you act if God walked up to you right now? Let's imagine that God is some being in the sky, and God shows up in front of you and says, look, the thing that you want the most, I promise you 100% that it is yours, and there's nothing that you could do to mess it up. Who you are right now, for better or for worse, this is yours. I promise you. I guarantee you wouldn't be trying to affirm for it all day. You wouldn't be trying to make yourself feel better so you can get it. You wouldn't be trying to think better thoughts about it. You would just know. You would just live life and know. All right, here we go. Let's transition. Here's the news flash. This is exactly what happens when you get a desire. This is exactly what happens when you have a desire. This is exactly what happens when you have a desire. The problem is, okay, or not the problem, but the thing that stands in our way is what? We think God is separate. We might say we think, oh yeah, God is within me. I am God. But you're still treating your desires as something separate. If you are God, if God is within you and the desire comes from within you, then who is speaking to you? Who is the one that is giving you the desire? If God is you, who is the one giving you the desire? Who is the one that's nudging you? This is what we want. This is what we want to experience. If God is you, it's not just this physical vessel doing it. It's like we accept, I am God, but we think, I'm God, but God is compartmentalized and my desires are way over here. And no. All of you is God. Every cell of your being, everything it's all God. Everything. There's no separation. Where does God end and you begin? Where do you begin? God ends. You don't know. There is no beginning or end. Yet we treat our desires like they're separate. Yeah, God's over there. And I am God, but my desire, I got to affirm for it and do all this. I got to convince this part of me that's God to give me it. Do you see how ridiculous that is? I was there. I've been trapped. I've been trapped in that mindset. Yeah, I said God was within me. I said that I was God. But I was only saying that purely off of vocabulary. I wasn't actually embodying it. I didn't actually realize that, oh shit, my desire, that's God's whisper. That's God's voice. That's not me. This is what Jesus was saying. I and the Father are one, right? But my Father does greater than I. I and my Father are one. But my Father does the work. I simply have to be and exist. Okay? So here we go. Number 3. Okay? Number 3. The gentle art of remembrance. How did we get out? What did I change daily? We're going to get there. We're going to get there right now. We're going to get there right now. It's the perfect question. All right? The gentle art of remembrance. All right, here we go. Even after awakening, the old voices do not vanish overnight. Right? Doubt, fear, and limitation still whisper, testing your faith in your divinity. Yet these are not enemies to fight, but illusions to outgrow. They're not enemies to fight. You're not battling. Your ego's not creating anything. It's just a collection of thoughts. Okay? So let's go to a quote from the Bhagavad Gita. All right? The mind is restless and hard to control, but it can be trained through practice and detachment. Now, I'm not saying this to make y'all think, I got to reprogram my mind. Hell no. There's nothing to reprogram. Okay? The moment you decide that you are God, the moment you decide, matter of fact, you don't even have to decide that. You just are God. Point blank period. You don't have to decide that shit. You've been God. Okay? The moment that you accept that you are the person you desire to be, everything is moving for you. Moment by moment, everything is changing. However, those doubts and fears and old patterns will still show up to confront you. So now what is our job? Is to prune. Okay? The remembrance that you are divine is beautiful. Okay? But it often takes this practice of pruning those old beliefs, right? Gently. Okay? Not focusing, right? Or not forcing, not focusing. Yes, focusing. Not forcing, right? Because we often think, to get this life of my dreams, I have to force my thoughts in this direction. I have to force my emotions. No. How gently can you simply remind yourself that you are source? How would you speak to yourself? How would you speak to God? That's how you should be speaking to yourself. Okay? Those old thoughts, fears, limitations, this is your inner child. How would you speak to a child? Would you tell them to shut the fuck up and not come back into your face until they feel better because they're messing up your vibration? Or would you give them grace and remind them that it's all working out, it's perfect? You've always been this way. What you'll find is as you continue to prune these old thoughts, these old beliefs, it gets to the point where all of a sudden, even your silence speaks. You're just always in the knowing that you are source. Always. This is the remembrance that you are divinity is instant. But are those old thoughts and beliefs and patterns going to fade immediately? No. Okay? No. You're not going to, right? You decide you are prosperity and the bill comes and you say, fuck, I don't know how this is going to work out. And then this is simply an opportunity. Every trigger that rises up is what? An opportunity to prune an old belief. To say, that's an old belief. I don't need that anymore. Right? It'll all be paid. Right? It's already paid because the prosperity that I'm seeking out there is already within me. I'm already it. So now I gently remind myself that I'm sourced through this situation. And then what do? I handle it however I handle it. But I handle it from the knowing of who I am, from the remembrance of who I am. Okay? Cool. So here we go. Each moment you choose awareness over reaction, you uproot another weed in the garden of your mind. You do not fight darkness. You simply turn on the light. Do you hear me? Okay. So when you walk outside, okay, you don't fight off the dark to get the light. You just open your eyes and realize the sun has been there the whole time. Okay. To get to prosperity, you don't fight off the lack. You simply remember that you've been prosperity the whole time. And you allow that light to shine and cast away the darkness. You don't need to fight off darkness because you are the light. This goes back to the first example that I was talking about, okay? You are simply God. You are God. And the light that you are is just illuminating. And when you walk into the room, you bring that light, and that light flows out from you via your assumptions, via your thoughts, your knowing, and it animates everything around you. This is how divine you are. This is how divine you are. Do you hear me? This is how divine you are. You are the light. Okay? You are the light. So here we go. The waves of thought will always rise and fall, but you are not the sea in turmoil. You are the depth beneath it. Ooh, that was a bar. The mind is the servant and not the master. And yet most live enslaved to its noise. Through stillness, you reclaim your throne. Detachment is not indifference. It is clarity. It is the art of seeing without grasping, of loving without clinging, of moving through the world without being moved by illusion. By moving through the world without being moved by illusion. When you practice awareness, the mind slowly bows to your presence. Its restlessness begins to settle in the gravity of your being. You no longer fight your thoughts, for you know they are passing clouds, not the sky itself. In detachment, you rediscover freedom, the peace that does not depend on outcomes, the joy that is not stolen by change. For the one who has mastered the mind, even chaos becomes a prayer, and every silence becomes an answered one. Do you hear me? Even chaos becomes what? An opportunity to remind myself, I am divine. This too must pass. This is just the weather, but I am the sky. Everything becomes an opportunity for you to reinforce your divinity. Everything. Everything. It's all divine. It's all perfect. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Do you hear me? All right. Your growth is not measured by how perfectly you stay in faith, but by how gently you return to it. Cast out the dark with the light. Don't fight off the dark. Fighting off the dark does no good. You can't fight the dark with dark. Okay? You simply remember who you are, and the light disappears, or the dark disappears. Because the dark is just the absence of light. The dark is nothing itself. Okay? Here we go. So the garden within. All right, so we're going to keep graduating. Next part. We're going to keep graduating. All right, the garden within. Your mind is sacred soil. Whatever you plant there grows, be it fear or faith, lack or abundance. To cultivate peace, you must remove the weeds of self-judgment and unworthiness. Those are the main things that we need to prune. Those are the main things that we prune. Ooh-wee, self-judgment and unworthiness. Okay? What do those things stem from? Separation, the illusion of separation. When I believe that I'm separate, I'm judging. Oh, I'm not doing this good enough. Oh, I need to be better at that. Oh, I'm not worthy. That person must be more worthy. They know scripture more than me. That person must be more worthy. He has a TikTok account. Oh my gosh. Not a TikTok. Oh, not a TikTok. Please don't let them have a TikTok. All right. But nobody is closer to God than you. Nobody can be closer to God than you. Nobody. Nobody, because God is you. All right. So here's a quote from Meister Eckhart. All right. God is not found in the soul by adding anything, but by a process of subtraction. What could that mean? What could that mean, Alex? Each false belief you release makes room for remembrance. Each false belief you remove makes room for remembrance. Each act of self-compassion waters the seed of divine awareness. You are not trying to become holy. You're not climbing the ladder of righteousness. There is no ladder. You're not climbing the ladder of righteousness. There is no ladder to climb. There is no height. There is no worthiness ladder. There is no righteousness or prosperity ladder to climb. You are already infinite prosperity, infinite love, infinite all these things. You just are worthy. Just your being alone is absolute worthiness. Okay? You are not trying to become holy. You are remembering you already are. So here we go. The divine is not something to be achieved, but something to be unveiled. Every belief, fear, and false identity is a veil that hides the simplicity of your true nature. Let me say that again. Every belief, fear, not some beliefs. Every belief, fear, and false identity is a veil that hides the simplicity of your true nature. Your true nature is simply I am. It's absolute holiness, absolute worthiness, absolute prosperity, absolute love. It's all that there is. This is your true identity. Everything is a reduction of that. This is why stillness is so powerful, because stillness is what you are. You are simply stillness, the awareness. You are the pure awareness, all right? The pure awareness, aware of everything, that can hold everything, all right? So every belief, fear, and false identity is a veil that hides the simplicity of your true nature. You cannot build your way to God, for God was never absent. The journey home is not one of accumulation, but of release. The slow dissolving of all that is not love until only love remains. Right? What is that quote in Course of Miracles that says your job is not to become more love or search more love, but remove every single boundary that keeps you from experiencing love, that keeps you from being love. Your job is not to become more love. You are already all that there is. Your job is to remove the boundaries, remove the walls you've built up that has kept you from experiencing love. Remove the judgments of yourself, the judgments of others. Give yourself the permission to experience the love that you want. If you got that specific person, when are you going to give yourself the permission to actually love the version of them that you want, instead of focusing on the one that you don't even want anymore and wondering why they don't come back changed when you've been focusing on the shit that you don't want? That doesn't make any sense. When will you give yourself permission to know yourself as love, to experience the life of your dreams? You want to love them, right? When would you give yourself permission to truly do so? You want the prosperity, right? When will you give yourself permission to be prosperous? The only person waiting is you. There is nobody else in your mind whispering to you right now and saying, no, wait. Don't be prosperity. Wait until the next sleep tape. Wait until the affirmation feels just perfect. Wait until the next subliminal that you speak. Wait until the next state akin to sleep that you do. You're the only person saying those things. You don't need to wait anymore. You are already it. All right? So here we go. Boom. When you begin to subtract the noise, the striving, the constant reaching for more, you discover the quiet radiance that was always within you. This is why silence feels holy. It strips away illusion and reveals essence. I wonder why so much of the world right now is just forcing noise. When is the last time it's truly been quiet? When's the last time you just felt how good silence feels? Not trying to think something, not trying to force just being. Being feels good. You are a human being. Being just, there's no feeling like. There's not many feelings like it. Let me stand corrected. There's not many feelings like it. Okay? Being is divine. All right? So this is why silence feels holy. It strips away illusion and reveals essence. In letting go of who you think you must become, you finally meet who you have always been. And you have always been absolutely perfect, absolutely whole, absolute prosperity, absolute love. Okay? So in letting go of who you think you must become, you finally meet who you have always been. And there, in the spaciousness of nothing, you realize that God was never hiding, only waiting for you to stop covering the mirror with names, titles, and fears long enough to see your own reflection shining back. Right? So number 5, okay? Number 5, speaking to yourself as God. We're graduating, okay? So first we talked about that waking up, all right? I woke up to the awareness that I am God. Okay, now what? Now I stopped looking for external validation. I realized that I am the proof. So I decide that I am this. Now I still have these doubts and stuff that come up. So now I have to go through the gentle art of remembering, reminding myself, pruning those old beliefs. All right? Cultivating that garden within myself. While I'm pruning those old beliefs, I'm planting these new seeds. Right? I'm remembering more and more and more. Now I'm speaking to myself as God. Okay? I'm speaking to that inner child within me. I'm not trying to force thoughts. I'm simply remembering. I don't have to cast out the dark with dark. I simply remember that I am the light. All right? I remember that I am the light. All right, so the next part. Well, actually, I kind of summarized that one already, so let's get into it. The next part is speaking to yourself as God. How do you treat something divine? How do you treat something divine? How would you treat God? With reverence, with patience, with tenderness. Okay? Because I know, I get it. I could feel that. I could already feel that one coming. It's difficult. Sometimes it feels difficult, right? Sometimes it doesn't feel easy. At least you make it seem so easy. How do you treat something divine? How would you treat God, right? With reverence, with patience, with tenderness. That is how you must begin to treat yourself. The words you speak to yourself are prayers. The tone that you use is worship. Don't let that go in one ear and out the other. So here's what scripture says, okay? Matthew 12:37. By your words you are justified. By your words you are justified, and by your words you are condemned. That goes to another scripture we always talk about, right? Life and death are in the power of the tongue, and those that love it will eat its fruits. Those that love, they fall in love with this game. All right? Every word you speak is a decree. Every sentence a seed planted in the soil of consciousness. Words are not idle sounds. They are carriers of faith, shaping the world around you in their image. When you speak lack, the universe echoes it. When you speak life, creation rushes to fill it. Your language is your covenant with the unseen. The tongue reveals what the heart truly believes, and heaven moves according to that belief. To speak consciously is to wield divine authority. The wise do not waste words, for they know speech is a creative act. When you speak from fear, you bind yourself to limitation. When you speak from truth, you call forth heaven on earth. Every declaration of I am summons reality to align with it. Now, keep in mind, okay, when I'm talking about speech, I'm talking about my declarations, my decrees, what I say that I am. Okay? I'm not talking about passing thoughts. Right? Passing thoughts, passing emotions. Remember, those are manifestations. I'm talking about what? What I declare myself to be. Who do I say that I am? What do I identify with, right? Remember, it's not the emotion that creates. It's not the feeling that creates. Those don't create anything. They're manifestations. Now, if they do create, what is it about those feelings that are being created, that are creating? What I say about them. I could feel like shit And I can say, damn, because I feel like this, things are not going to work out. Guess what? You're right. I could feel like shit, and I could say, it doesn't matter. I'm still source. I'm still God. Everything always works out for me no matter what, because I am perfect and whole and complete no matter how I feel. And guess what? You're right. In both, you're right. Same feeling, different results. Why? Because your words are powerful. Your decrees are powerful. I am is the creative energy. I am is the creative power. Okay? If your words create your world, let them be words that honor the God within you. Okay? How much would you be more reverent, right? Would you show more reverence to yourself, to your inner speech, if you truly believe that you are God? Okay? The same way that, as people, I used to do this, right, when I was in the church, is all of a sudden you walk in that building and what happens? You start changing. You don't want to cuss no more, right? You want to talk a little bit more proper. You want to be kinder to people. You walk into this building, and all of a sudden, this building that was made by a man, that's meaningless, that's just stone and wood. It's not the true temple of God. You are the temple of God. You are the temple of God. Where you're sitting right now is holy ground because God is here. You're meeting God right here within the temple of you. That building is meaningless. Some old man smoking cigarettes put that shit up. That building is meaningless. Why is it? Why is that building powerful? Well, when you walk in it, God walks in with you. But guess what? When you leave it, God walks out with you as well. When you go to sleep right now, God goes to sleep with you. When you wake up in the morning, God wakes up as you. Wherever you are right now is holy ground because you are there. Not that building. That building's meaningless. That building can rise and fall. Right now, a truck can come knock that motherfucker over. It means nothing. The big ass statue on the wall of a man massacred, right? That means nothing. You are the walking temple. You are the living word. You are the word made manifest. Do you not know that you are the temple of the Most High? Do you not know that you are the temple of the Holy Spirit? That God is within you. The kingdom is within you. Everything is within you. Do you not know that? What do you show more reverence to? To that building? Or any time that you speak, do you understand that you are you are the word of God? When you think about your mother, when you think about your friends, when you think about that stranger, when you think about that poor man on the side of the road, do you understand that you are speaking to God? You're thinking about God in that moment. Do you? Do you? When you accept your desire as the truth, do you understand that you are accepting God's desire as your own? Do you understand? Okay? Do you understand? Here we go. If your words create your world, let them be words that honor the God within you. Speak as one who knows that heaven listens, not as one begging for permission to exist. Speak life into yourself until your very silence becomes sacred. Beautiful. Number 6, the living testimony of I am. Right? We're graduating. Okay? So now, what happens after you begin to prune all these things? Okay? You begin to know yourself as source, know yourself as God. You begin to speak as God. You know that you are the temple of God. Okay? The next is now, it's not just my words. My life is the testimony of I am. Even my silence is a testimony. All right? There will come a day when you no longer have to affirm your worth because it will emanate from you effortlessly. You will not need to remind yourself that you are divine. Your presence will do the reminding for you. As the Gnostic Gospel of Thomas says, right? When you know yourselves, then you will be known, and you will understand that you are children of the living Father. Damn. That shit, okay. To live from I am is to live from completion and not desire. You are no longer waiting for heaven to approve you, for heaven is already speaking through you. Graduation day. Graduation day. Okay? Now, number 7, finally, right? The stillness that testifies. When awareness matures, silence becomes your greatest sermon. You no longer defend your belief because you have become the evidence of it. Peace becomes your authority. Love becomes your power. It's all love. It's all peace. It's all blessings. It's all an opportunity for me to remember that I am no matter what. All right. So Psalm 46:10, of course, right? Cease striving. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Stillness is not passivity. It is power resting in certainty. When you rest in the knowing of who you are, creation moves to reflect your truth. You become the mirror through which God sees himself. I am that I am, right? No matter what. No matter what. Effortlessly. I am God. I am God no matter what. Whether I think that I'm God, whether I just am. You just are. Okay? So a couple reflection questions, then I got a love letter for y'all. Then we got some affirmations. All right? So allow these reflection questions, there's just 3 of them, but allow these to, if they trigger you, let them trigger you. That's all I'll say. All right? Once we understand, or once we see where we are, where we have a blind spot per se, right? Just our awareness of that blind spot is the healing. Now, because I'm aware of it, it's a choice. Now, once I'm aware of it, it's a choice. All right. So number 1, in what areas of your life do you still seek external confirmation of your divinity? In what areas of your life do you still seek external confirmation of your divinity? Is your being enough? Right? If you say your prosperity, what are you waiting for? Why aren't you being prosperity? Why aren't you walking through life knowing that everything that you want, it always gets taken care of? Reality just is what it is. It's all unfolding for me. When will you finally become prosperity and see through the illusion? Or are you still waiting for the illusion to prove that you are who you say you are? Be honest with yourself. When will you accept that you are love? Or are you still waiting for that person out there to show you that you're loved? Are you still waiting for something out there to prove to you that you are who you say you are? Well, if you're still waiting for proof, you're not who you say you are. When will you give yourself permission to be loved, to see through the illusion and know it's all working out for me? When will you do it, my gods, my goddesses? When will you do it? When will you give yourself permission to have what you want? You want it, right? Then have it. Then have it. Be it. Accept it. What is stopping you? What is stopping you? Number 2. Number 2.1. Question 2.1, all right? What old thoughts or beliefs are you ready to pull out like weeds? What old thoughts or beliefs that you need something out there to show you that you're loved? That things don't show up for you perfectly? That somehow it's possible for things to not work out? What old thoughts or beliefs do you have that need to be pulled out? Okay, and then number 3, right? How can your words and choices today honor the God within you? How can your words and choices today, right now, honor the God within you? How will you honor the God that gave you the desire? Number one, you could accept it. That'd be number one, accept it, right? If God showed up out of the clouds and said, here, I have a gift for you, would you say, no, fuck no? Or would you accept it? Would you say, that would be nice, God, but I got to raise my vibration first. That would be nice, God, but I got to do my robotic affirmations first. I want it, but I don't know if I'm in the right frequency right now. Well, that's what you do every time that you receive this desire and you act like you don't have it. I mean, a gift is a gift. The desire is a gift. I want this desire. God, hopefully I can do my state akin to sleep and visualize tonight, but I just haven't been able to do it in first person. And I'm just not good at thinking in colors either. And sometimes my visualizations just feel in black and white. I get that you're trying to give me this, but maybe I need to work on my visualizations more. Don't you understand you see how ridiculous that is, right? This is what we do when we don't simply accept the desire as ours. All right? So here we go. Okay, I got a love letter for y'all. A love letter for y'all, that's some affirmations. Okay. Y'all trying to technique God. Thanks, I appreciate the gift, God, but before you give it to me, I want to show you my new technique. You feel me? I got to show you my new technique. Before you give me the desire, before you give me that gift, let me dance for you for a second. All right? So here is the love letter, okay? It's from me to me, but read it or listen to it like it's from yourself to yourself. Okay? Cool. Beloved, remember who you are when you speak. Every word that leaves your mouth is not mere sound. It is creation in motion. You are not reciting life, you are authoring it. The universe listens to the tone of your conviction, not the noise of your fear. When you say, I am, heaven stands at attention, waiting to mold itself around your declaration. Do not speak as one waiting for miracles, speak as the miracle itself. You have spent lifetimes praying for signs, not realizing that your words were the signs shaping themselves into form. You have begged for peace while repeating the language of chaos. You have sought love while affirming loneliness, but now you remember the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and that Word lives in you. Every I am is sacred scripture being written through your breath. Be mindful of the stories you tell, for they are spells cast into eternity. Speak light into your darkness, faith into your doubt, divinity into your humanity. It's a damn puzzle piece, boy. There we go. Be mindful of the stories you tell, for they are spells cast into eternity. Speak light into your darkness, faith into your doubt, divinity into your humanity. When you choose words born from truth rather than fear. From truth rather than fear. This is why Jesus said, I am the truth. I am the truth, right? And if I am the truth, right, anything that causes fear is not the truth. I am the truth, all right? Speak words from truth rather than fear. You call yourself out of the tomb of limitation and into resurrection. Life responds not to desperation, but to identity. Speak as the one who already is, and the world will rearrange to reflect your knowing. Your power has never been in the waiting, but in the word. Speak life over yourself until even your silence glows with remembrance. Let your voice become prayer, your tone become temple, and your I am become the throne upon which truth sits unshaken. You are the word made flesh. And when you finally speak from that knowing, the whole universe will bow in recognition, not to worship you, but to agree with what you have remembered, right? I am, and therefore it is. I am, and therefore it is, right? I am that I am, no matter what, okay? No matter what. No matter what, okay? So here we go. A couple affirmations. Remember, these affirmations, you're not trying to be them, okay? You're not trying to morph into them, all right? This is a divine remembrance of who you've always been. Accept these. This is who you've always been. Always. Okay? Number 1. I am the breath of the source made visible. The infinite exhaling through form. I am the breath of the source made visible. The infinite exhaling through form. Number 2, my silence is not emptiness, but the quiet thunder of divine authority remembered. My silence is not emptiness, but the quiet thunder of divine authority remembered, all right? Doesn't the universe move from energy and not words? It doesn't move from thoughts. Okay, it moves from I am, right? In the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God. The Word was God, right? If you tell me that the universe moves off of energy, then I would ask you, what is energy? So what is energy? Isn't that state of being? Well, what is state of being? I am prosperity. What is the energy of power, right? It's a declaration that I am power. And so you move as such. So how could it move off of energy and not words? What is the difference? What's the difference between energy and words? Okay, y'all have the answers. The answers are in the question. The answers are in the questions. Okay, let your affirmation of I am be it's I am. Your statements of I am, your decrees, right? They're anchors for states of being. But the state of being is the word, right? I am prosperity. What is the energy of it? The energy of prosperity is I am prosperity. It's the declaration of I am prosperity. Okay. Cool. So here we go. Number 3. Each moment bends in reverence to my awareness, affirming that creation knows its maker. Knows its maker. There is no tomorrow. You already have it. There is no tomorrow. Tomorrow doesn't exist. I am getting that job tomorrow. When tomorrow comes, tomorrow's still going to come. And tomorrow's still going to come. You have it right now. It's yours. It's done. It's yours. Through divine right. Through divine right. All right? Each moment bends in reverence to my awareness. Each moment bends in reverence to my awareness, affirming that creation knows its maker. Beautiful. 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 All right. I honor myself as holy ground. I like that one. I honor myself as holy ground, for the essence of God moves within every cell of my being. I honor myself as holy ground, right? You are the temple of the Most High, where you're sitting, standing, walking, driving, wherever, laying, everything. It's all holy ground because you are there. Because you are there. Okay? I walk not toward heaven, but as heaven revealed in human motion. I walk not toward heaven. What is toward heaven? There is no toward heaven to get to. I am heaven. I am the walking word of God. Okay? I walk not toward heaven, but as heaven revealed in human motion. This is the same. So all of these streams, right, are streamed to YouTube and Instagram, right? Once we end it, I upload the document to YouTube, so the documents are all yours. Okay? Documents are all yours. Okay? So you'll get the love notes, you'll get the reflection questions, you'll get the affirmations, you get all of that. You get the lecture outline. It's all for you. Do whatever you want with it. Okay? Whatever you want with it. Number 6, my awareness is the sanctuary of the eternal, and my peace is the language of God speaking through me. Ooh-wee. I had to pause for a second. I felt that one. All right. My awareness is the sanctuary of the eternal. I am the resting place of God. Right. And my peace is the language of God speaking through me. 2 more. All right. I no longer search for signs, for existence itself is my reflection and my proof. Existence is the proof. What's the proof that I am God? My existence. What's the proof that I am prosperity? My existence. What's the proof that I am love? My existence. That's the proof of who I am. My existence, okay? And last but certainly not least, set your heart ablaze. Okay, ring Goku in this motherfucker, all right? So last but certainly not least, I am the living word, the echo of I am made flesh, complete, eternal, and whole. I am the living word, the echo of I am made flesh, complete, eternal, and whole, right? I am that I am, no matter what. Okay? I am that I am, no matter what. All right, so today, that was all I had. All right. In conclusion, this was the journey of remembering that God is within. All right. So, of course, if you want to watch this from the beginning, it'll be on YouTube. Don't take them down from YouTube. So it'll be on YouTube with the document. But really, we walk through the journey of remembering that you are God. Okay. First, it might simply be an understanding of vocabulary. And then you have to do this work in remembering it. And then it's pruning out all those old beliefs. And then it's allowing your actual what? Your actual presence to be the proof. So it was this graduation through the knowing that you are God. And why we did this discussion is because that's been the question, right? We've been diving pretty deep in our discussions of I am. Well, they haven't been deep because y'all have been with me for a while, right? But to somebody just clicking on like, oh shit, okay, I'm God, now what, right? Hopefully this gives you a better understanding of walking through it, okay? Hopefully this gives you a better understanding of walking through it. And yeah, I'll upload the lives that I did in Vegas to YouTube for sure. I'll probably do that tomorrow, tomorrow evening or Thursday. I'll upload them. You just gotta download them off the phone. Honestly, I just decided, let me jump on here and do a live tonight. So I'll do another live stream tomorrow, but it'll probably be off the cuff, right? I don't know if it'll be the morning or afternoon. But we'll get back to 1 or 2 a day probably starting on Thursday. But look, I appreciate y'all. Right? Remember that you are gods, you are goddesses. Okay? You are the walking temple of God. Right? Yeah, don't hold me to it. Because your boy will change his mind. I live in the moment over here. That's why you're like, what time are you going to go live, Alex? Yes. Exactly. You're right. And that's it. All right? So I appreciate y'all. We are all in this together. Right? We are all on this journey together. Okay? I really love and appreciate, the community that we're building together, right? I really appreciate it. I appreciate the way that, y'all help each other in the comments. I appreciate y'all's questions. I appreciate y'all's challenges. I appreciate y'all being like, hold up, what about this? Hold up, what about this? Hold up, I thought you said this, right? Because when y'all are bold enough, okay, and I know that you're not here for some people just show up to talk shit, right? But you're here because you want a better life, point blank period, right? You're here because you deserve the life of your dreams because you've been awakening to the fact that everything that you desire is yours. Right? So when you're bold enough to ask those questions that maybe you feel confused about something, right? Or if you see somebody else in the chat that's confused about something and you reach out to them and you help them with it. Or, I see it and we have a conversation based off of it. That is how we grow, right? Because your question could be what pulls me down the path of explaining something that makes it click for you and somebody else. Or you responding to somebody in the chat might make it click for them, right? So we are all in this together, okay? We are all in this together. We are all one, okay? We are all one. You deserve everything. You deserve the love that you want because you are the love that you want. You deserve the car, the house, the grill, all of that. If you want one woman, if you want 13 women, hey, your boy won't judge you. You deserve what you want, okay? You deserve what you want. And you can have everything that you want with integrity by also receiving that closeness to God that you've been craving, right? Because another reason why I really came down this reality creation space was I wanted to feel close and I didn't want to feel alone anymore, right? The church, I still felt alone, right? We were a bunch of people in there and they seemed cool, but there were just so many questions that I couldn't get answered, right? And there was still this space between me and God where I was always just working for something that felt unobtainable, right? And then you have these desires and you know that, man, there's more to life than this. There's more to life than paycheck to paycheck. There's more to life than, just having these surface level connections with women or with my friends. There's more to life than, just saying, oh, my mom's sick. Just if she dies, God had better plans for her. There was more to life than that. Right? All of that always kept me felt disconnected. It felt like I was chasing a God that only cared about my worship and not my actual well-being. Right? But waking up to this perspective that no, God is in my desires. God is me. And truly kind of embracing and getting to know that scripture that says whatsoever you ask will be given to you, and walking through this path and realizing that no, that's an absolute fact. Whatever I ask, whatever I want is promised to me, right? Has allowed me to feel a closeness to God that have never been able to feel outside of this space, right? And you deserve it, right? Because all those things that you want, they'll come, right? But the fulfillment comes from knowing that you're a source, comes from knowing that whatever you want, it's yours, right? Like, nice. I mean, struggles, I can relate. Why I'm so passionate about this, I can relate, right? Like years ago, my mom, bro, I didn't know what was gonna go on with my mom, right? I thought we had a couple more months with her, right? Stage 4 cancer, a 5-inch tumor in her lung. Stage 4 lung cancer. If you read stage 4 lung, if you start researching stage 4 lung cancer, just stop. You won't want to research anymore, right? But now she is cancer free, right? I went from sleeping in cars. I went from sleeping on the streets. I went from homeless. I went from all of that to not worrying about money, being able to take care of everything around me, right? And all in all, right, develop that deep connection with God. Deep connection with the God that is me, right? And wouldn't trade this for anything. You deserve that. You deserve that. And all of it is simply on the other side of making a choice that right now you are already perfect. That God could not create something that was not perfect. Right? God could not create something that wasn't perfect. Your existence is not an accident. Your existence is proof of your absolute worthiness. The absolute love that you are. Okay? The absolute love that you are. Right? I truly do love y'all. Truly. Hopefully y'all feel that. I trust that y'all do feel that. I trust that y'all feel that we are in this together. Okay? I have a vested interest in y'all when y'all turn on this space to get the life of y'all's dreams. I have a vested interest in it, and I choose to see y'all as absolutely perfect. Okay? I choose to see y'all as absolutely perfect. All right? Y'all have a beautiful, beautiful evening. Stay divine, stay perfect, stay peaceful, stay prosperous, and all those divine things that you are, right? And we shall talk again tomorrow. Okay? We shall talk again tomorrow. Let me just sit here for a second and stare at y'all, then I'll hit the stop button. It's beautiful to feel y'all as well. Good night, good night, good night. Yeah. Look, this whole journey, you're not here. I get it. Why I reiterate this is because I understand. I truly understand what it feels like to just want something so bad and beg for God for something. Beg to some God that you think is out there to give you something. Healing for a family member. The woman of your dreams. You just can't keep her. You can't break out of that paycheck to paycheck cycle. And everybody's just like, just in his time. Right? If it's a righteous desire. Right? God knows best. Right? Sometimes he's protecting you from the things that you think you want. And you're like, bruh, everything? Protecting me from the money I want? I can't even take a vacation. You're protecting me from having my mom healthy? I get it. I understand, right? All of that changes when you realize that the one who is giving you the desires, the one that feels the desires, is God. That your desire is basically God showing up, handing you a gift, and saying, accept it just as you are. The only thing that stops us from receiving it is we refuse to receive it. Surrender. Surrender to the knowing that it's done. Surrender to the knowing that reality is perfect. Surrender to the knowing that whatever you see out there, it is what it is and it is perfect. And it's going to take care of itself. Reality can take care of itself because reality is God. And God is within you. And God gave you the desire. And you flow through reality as God. Allow reality to be what it is. You choose to see it righteously. You choose to see it through the eyes of love, through the eyes of God. You choose to allow everything to unfold perfectly. Give reality permission to be you, to be perfect. How do you do that? Stop looking for proof out there and realize that you are the proof. Your desire was the proof. Your desire has always been the proof. Okay? And yes, you change your mind right now. Change your mind right now. All right, cool. Love y'all. I've been traveling and shit. I'm tired of the motherfucker, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I'll be back on tomorrow and we'll get busy. We'll do some one-on-ones at the end of the live as well tomorrow. All right. So until then, y'all stay prosperous, y'all stay divine. Peace.